Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our MISAD Bulletin, and we shall start with our headlines. Shells fall into Syria's Idlib province from Turkey. Thousands rally in Barcelona against Catalonia's secession. And moving on to our details, starting with the violence in Damascus. Syria activists and then opposition fighters say shelling and brick clashes have erupted along Turkey's border with northwestern Syria between Turkish forces and Al-Qaeda-linked militants. Opposition activists said Turkish artillery responded to a missile launched by Al-Qaeda-linked fighters across the border. On the other hand, Turkish media reported that Turkey fired 7 howitzer rounds into Idlib on Sunday, causing no casualties. It's worth mentioning that Turkey's president announced on Saturday his country has launched a serious operation in Syria's northwestern Idlib province with Turkey-backed Syrian opposition forces following international efforts for de-escalation in the war-torn country. In KSA, a gunman opened fire outside the Saudi royal palace on Saturday, killing 2 members of the Saudi royal guard. The Saudi press agency quoted the security spokesman for the Interior Ministry as saying that the attacker exited a vehicle and opened fire on the western gate of Al Salam Palace in Jeddah early Saturday morning, killing 2 guard members and wounding 3 others. The agency added that the gunman was shot dead on the spot. The ministry identified the attacker as Mansour bin Hassan bin Ali bin Al-Fahd Al-Amri, a 28-year-old Saudi national, adding that he was carrying Kalashnikov rifles and 3 Molotov cocktails. On the other side of the world, 6 people are known to have died from gas explosions at Atomic Junction near the Ligan Superb in northwest Accra, according to what Ghana National Fire Service spokesman said on Sunday. The spokesman said, "As we speak, 6 people are dead due to this fire," adding that 35 were injured by the Saturday night explosions. 4 of them are in critical condition. He also said the cause of the explosions is being investigated. It's worth mentioning that the filing station is near a transport terminal and close to some hostels for the University of Ghana in Accra. On another side, thousands of people were rallying on Sunday in downtown Barcelona to protest the Catalan government's push for secession from the rest of Spain. Many in the crowd gathered in a central square carried Spanish and Catalan flags. Some chanted "Don't be fooled, Catalonia is Spain," and called for Catalan President Carles Puigdemont to go to prison. From another aspect, large rallies were held on Saturday in Madrid, Barcelona, and other cities to demand that Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy and Puigdemont negotiate to find a solution to Spain's worst political crisis in nearly 4 decades. In relation to the context, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy voiced that his government will not allow Catalonia to break away from the rest of the country. In an interview with the Spanish newspaper El País published on Sunday, Rajoy said that he will consider employing any measure allowed by the law to stop the region's separatists. Rajoy also said that includes the application of Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution, which would allow the central government to take control of the governance of a region if the regional government does not comply with the obligations of the Constitution. On to Moscow. In a challenge to President Vladimir Putin on his 65th birthday, protesters rallied across Russia on Saturday, heeding opposition leader Alexei Navalny's call to pressure authorities into letting him enter the presidential race. Police allowed demonstrators in Moscow to rally near the Kremlin. A bigger rally in St. Petersburg, Putin's hometown, was disbanded by police, detaining nearly 40 after protesters blocked traffic and attempted to break through police cordons. On another front, the rallies came as Navalny himself is serving a 20-day jail term for calling for an earlier unsanctioned protest. And moving on to Tokyo, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said on Sunday that his government fully supports the U.S. stance on pressuring North Korea over its nuclear weapons program, with all options on the table. In a televised debate on Sunday among leaders of major political parties, Abe said North Korea had failed to deliver on past promises to give up its pursuit of nuclear technology made during six-party talks with Japan, China, the US, Russia and South Korea. Abe also said that his government supports the US stance that more pressure is needed and all options are on the table. And going to natural crises, Hurricane Matty brought flooding and power outages to the Gulf Coast as it sloshed ashore outside Biloxi early Sunday, the first hurricane to make landfall in Mississippi since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. The storm hit the state with maximum sustained winds near 85 miles per hour, but weakened later to a tropical storm as it moved inland, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center. As of 5 a.m., Matty was centered about 80 miles northeast of Biloxi and moving north-northeast near 23 miles per hour. From another aspect, it was Matty's second landfall, as on Saturday night, the storm came ashore along a sparsely populated area in southeast Louisiana. And finally, economic news. Spain's Minister of Public Works, Íñigo de la Serena, says more companies will leave Catalonia amid fears over the regional government's cessation plans. De la Serena said that the companies will keep leaving and it's exclusively the fault of the members of the regional government. This comes after Catalonia's two major banks, CaixaBank and Banco Sabadell, energy giant Gas Natural, and the company that provides Barcelona's water, have decided in recent days to move their headquarters to other parts of Spain. Other companies are reportedly considering such a move to ensure that Catalonia's possible cessation wouldn't immediately knock them out of the European Union. And before ending our news, let's take another look at the most important headlines for today. Shells fall into Syria's Idlib province from Turkey. Thousands rally in Barcelona against Catalonia's cessation. And we reached the end of our Missat Bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us and see you tomorrow in a new bulletin.